Airliners International provides many opportunities to experience one-of-a-kind pieces of aviation. Today, we'll be checking out some epic 16mm films on Boeing aircraft, Convair 880 emergency equipment, and Air New Zealand. With all that being said, let's go ahead and get started, everybody. Alrighty, everybody, who's ready for some of the coolest aviation films that you're ever gonna see? So during Airliners International 2024 at MCI, we had an absolutely awesome welcome reception, and right before John Jameson's presentation on MCI airport history, which will also be in its own video, so check that out as well. A really cool presentation here of three 16mm films here on a variety of airplane subjects. So this is gonna be super cool. So as I said there in the intro, we'll begin with some of the Boeing history. There's some 707s and other clips in here too, and then we'll jump into our next one, which is Convair 880 emergency equipment, which was very cool too. And then we'll finish up with a really cool presentation on Air New Zealand as well. So really awesome. I also got some video of the projector as well. So all of it's going to be really great. So looking super forward to all this, and I hope each and every one of you are as well. So without any further delay, we'll just go ahead and watch it through, and then I'll have some pictures coming up where I'll kind of talk about my thoughts and all that, but I'll kind of just chime in just a little bit here and there, but I'll give you as raw of an experience as I can. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started, everybody.
Is for passengers. The low building is one of 7 passenger terminals at the airport. A tunnel connects it with the building where the planes come to load and unload.
Really cool jet bridges right there. Have to note that.
755 is Los Angeles Tower. Cleared to land runway 25.
This is sick.
Thanks, Mark.
Flight 755 has carried 103 passengers non-stop from Chicago to Los Angeles. The plane's next assignment is Flight 766, non-stop to New York, and leaving in just 2 hours. Many people who work at the airport will now work together, doing a variety of jobs, to get this plane ready to leave on its next flight on time.
Just got me.
What up, bro?
Apologies for the background noise.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Regardless of the weather.
Outstanding.
As soon as the passengers have left the plane,
There's the projector, by the way.
Prepare it for its next flight. Jet fuel is pumped into the plane from underground tanks. Experienced mechanics carefully check the powerful jet engines. At the same time, in the airline dispatch office,
Yeah.
Flight 2 or Flight 766 has
Like
reported
some kind of
to
a
their
reference.
flight plan. The pilot, Captain George Rogers, will
Let's argue with the pilot, guys.
altitude and speed for the trip to New York. He is assisted by his co-pilot, First Officer Tom Dickinson, and by his flight engineer, Jim Peterson.
I want to see that
The
jet
flight
bridge
crew
again.
must have the latest weather information in order to make out their flight plan.
Oh, here we go about alternates. Here we go.
Transmitted by wire from the Central Weather Bureau in Washington.
And it's going to kind of break up in the clips, by the way. I didn't want to film every single piece, so you'll see some breakups throughout today's video.
RC400 when I was 14. I used to get, they had these free film services in the 70s, okay? Both McDonnell Douglas and Boeing had a film library, and if you wrote to them and made up a fake name, which I don't remember what name I used as a kid, but I was 15 years old, and I would write to Boeing and McDonnell Douglas, and they would send me these packs of films. I got 10 times as much mail as my parents when I was 14 and 15. One of the great ones from Boeing was a 20-minute film on how to quick change a 727-200. Or 100. It was a QC, how to QC a Boeing aircraft. And I used to watch these in my bedroom with my own, I mean, nobody had VCRs or anything back then. Nobody had anything like that. And I used to sit there in my
Definitely
bedroom and
not
watch.
YouTube.
I've got, besides the airline, my bedroom with my own. I mean, nobody had VCRs or anything back then. Nobody had anything like that. And I used to sit there in my
Definitely
bedroom
not
and watch.
YouTube.
I've got, besides the airline films, one of the coolest ones was American Steel Association did one on the making of the St. Louis Arch, which is an amazing film. Oh, yeah. And the only place to see it now, they've controlled it now. The only place to see it is to pay $10 to see it at the Arch, but it's an amazing, like, 28-minute film. Truly amazing film. So, 880?
Yeah.
And then we'll do one more after that, and then I'll be done.
Hopefully we get that laptop over
Did
here.
you get a hold of?
Yep, I got Bill. He's heading to the office.
Okay.
All right, next
So
up,
this
880
one
emergency
is
equipment.
called- It's from the TWA Jack Fry International Training Center here at Baltimore and Kansas City. It's called 880 Emergency Equipment. It's 12 minutes long.
Outstanding.
Did you have to return them to Boeing when you got
Yeah,
them?
every time,
Yeah, you
when
had
you
to send
borrowed
it back?
films, you had to return them.
Yeah.
And if you didn't return them, yeah, they didn't send anymore.
Yeah, okay. Like,
And what was neat too, back then, not only would they send them to you, they'd also send you a frank return label, so they'd pay for
yes,
postage.
exactly. Yeah, just
And
stick
they
it
had
back
the
on the
American,
box.
It's like a broken model airplane.
Modern Talking Picture Service was one of the places. I got travel logs from all over the world, man.
Jeez, that's amazing.
And I sat there in my bedroom. This is days before VCRs and everything. I used to watch them in my bedroom.
Yeah, on the
Okay,
wall.
lights out.
Yeah, lights out.
Lights out. Lights out.
All right.
I'm sorry about the sound. Tensiometer's really noisy.
That's all right. Don't worry about it. Oh yeah, there we go.
The safety of a flight and must be alert and able to act quickly during any given situation. Therefore, emergency equipment is stressed through every means available to help you assist your passengers and fellow crew members
All right.
should an emergency situation arise.
Appreciate that.
Better viewing angle back here.
The four doors of the aircraft are considered the primary escape route in the event
Yeah,
of
that is
an
no
emergency
shorties,
landing. To open, rotate the handles counterclockwise 180 degrees. Push outward with a slow and steady pressure. And secure against the fuselage. Forceful pushing restricts successful opening. To open the cabin doors from the outside, depress the lever. Pull
Very
the handle
detailed
up.
and very slow. Keep that in mind.
Placing either of these switches on will turn on cabin emergency lights only. Emergency lighting system may also be activated by inertia. In addition to the emergency lighting system, there are individual battery-powered evacuation lights placed at strategic locations in the cabin. These lights are carried in the automatic position and will operate by inertia. They may also be turned on manually. Passenger oxygen masks are located in the passenger service unit above each seat row. The oxygen system will activate automatically when cabin altitude reaches 14,000 feet, or the system may be... The cylinder has two outlets, high and low, a pressure gauge, and an off-on valve. The bottle is always stowed with the valve in the off position. The low outlet is found at the low side of the gauge. The high outlet at the high side of the gauge. Red tape around the stem of the high outlet also indicates high flow outlet. When checking passengers after decompression, the cabin attendants will strap the cylinder on.
Again, very easy and fast while you're falling.
Oh, yes.
Remember to check all emergency equipment prior to every flight.
Oh, yes.
Know your equipment well.
Another really good presentation right there with some great detail. Trying to find a spot to not interrupt Chris here, but what he's doing is wrapping up the film around the piece. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but you have to unwind it once you play it once. So that's what he was doing previously, and that's what he's doing here. All right, we're on to the Air New Zealand film here. Let's go ahead and check it out. Oh, yes, 7.4. That was gorgeous.
Up in the airport control tower, the traffic controllers are talking to the pilot of planes coming into land.
Frigate J.
Philip's cousin Catherine is on this flight.
There's 732.
Guided in by the air traffic controllers, the pilot makes a perfect landing.
Have fun, y'all.
As the plane slowly taxis in, Philip is allowed to marshal it.
Oh yeah, Connor, you can take this one.
Thank you.
So, my
See you
phone's-
shortly. No, you're good.
Yeah.
See you in a little bit.
Next, he chocks the wheels to stop the plane from moving.
Have fun, Mark. See you in a little bit.
Then, coming into view, he signals the pilot, all's well. Here comes Catherine. Looks like she's made friends. There's something else Philip's father wants to show them. Catherine wanted to know how he learned to fly. This big box is rather like a giant video game of landing at the airport. It's a flight simulator, and pilots can learn to fly.
Really
a big plane
impressed. It
here
looks pretty
without
advanced for the
anything
time,
cool.
so that's really cool.
Okay, Joe, we're going to take a coffee break. You can let your kids go. How about that? 140 knots.
At the controls, it's exactly like flying. The box banks from side to side and rocks backwards and forwards, just like being in an airplane.
That's a little bit big for Philip.
Yeah, it is.
The food is being packed away into tall, thin boxes on wheels, which the hostesses and stewards will be able to roll up and down the aisles of the aircraft. But now, at the end of the day, a special...
Alrighty guys, so I really hope all of you enjoyed all those clips from the 3 films there. Safe to say that was really unique, and it's kind of tough because obviously the majority of the people watching this video didn't really grow up in that age, so it's a little tougher to relate to, but obviously there's a bunch of good pieces to the puzzle. So I just snipped some screenshots here of some moments that I thought were really cool, like this really cool tri-motor, I believe is what this is here. So those are just a bunch of really cool clips in there with some really awesome history. Some of it seems a little dated for when this was, and some of it seems pretty advanced, so you can kind of notice all that. I'm sorry. Here's a gorgeous, beautiful aircraft blasting off here, DC8, looking very nice right there. What an awesome aircraft, and blasting into the sky looking super strong. So that was super awesome to observe right there. And there's another beautiful angle of the United. This is the Stars and Bars livery, so very cool to get to see that right there. So ultimately a very strong showing there, to say the least. And we have this another really cool shot right here. This is a 707, I believe, and awesome to get to see what these aircraft were all about at the time, and overall just definitely looking super strong. So also Mr. Slimmer gave a really nice words of wisdom there regarding how he was able to watch these films back in his time. So that was really cool, and overall I thought that was a very fascinating story to listen to throughout there. So that was really great right there, to say the least. Here's the TWA-88 Convair 880 rather taking off. That was really awesome to get to see for the emergency equipment. A bunch of really unique pieces to the puzzles there, and interesting to see how they were demonstrating that with the details and all the other pieces to the puzzle. So that was very unique. And there's the oxygen system right there, excuse me, which was really unique considering obviously, you know, how they presented it. And again, some of it was detailed, some of it wasn't, and some of it was slow, and other parts were a little bit faster in the presentation. So that was really cool to observe. And then we have the Air New Zealand aircraft with maintenance right there. I thought that was really sweet as well. So you can see this aircraft going strong right here, some sort of prop with the wings on top. So that's super cool, like a -6 or no, -7 or whatever it would have been. So very awesome to get to see that right there. And lastly, we have the Air New Zealand 737-200 on short final as well. So really cool to get to note all this. Again, there was a bunch of really great pieces to the puzzle. I really hope all of you were able to find some unique value and really enjoyed this video. So next up, we'll be hanging out with John Jameson for his MCI aviation history on Kansas City. So I hope all of you are excited for that. It was a super great presentation. I look forward to bringing it to all of you here on the channel. With all that being said, that'll do for today's video, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. I want to thank each and one of you for watching. My name is Redriveraviation. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Just process. Do love and love you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon as Redriveraviation is signing off.